Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. My name is Plami and in this episode of Radio K, I'm gonna be reacting to a long-awaited comeback and a reaction from you guys about AB6IX's Salute. Yes, I know it's been quite a long time. It's been like 3 months since they came back. And I have been meaning to react to this, but there's just been so many releases and just other songs have won over me reacting to this song. And I am really excited to check this song out to see how I'm gonna feel about it, because their last comeback, which was I believe The Answer, I'm not sure whether the song was called that, but maybe the album was called that. And for that song I was really surprised by how much I actually liked it, and even ended up listening to it quite a lot, which, what? Because I believe when I first reacted to AB6IX, which might have been for the first time after one, what was the name for the big group? I don't want to say it wrong, but like, I don't know, like the big produced group that ended up disbanding. I'm just blanking. 101. It was 101, I believe. I think the first comeback after 101 disbanded is the first comeback of theirs that I reacted to, and I wasn't really impressed. There was something about those produced groups and their music that just feels too safe, generic K-pop for me. But The Answer still was in that kind of like space, but it somehow managed to actually be catchy to me, which I was really surprised by. And I listened to that song so much, like I listened to it for like a month afterwards. So I'm really hoping with a name like this that it's probably going to be much more my taste and I'm going to end up listening to it a lot, but there's only one way to find out, so we're going to get into it. But before we do that, I just want to quickly say that if you go over to Patreon and support me over there by donating, it would really help me out to continue doing these videos and maybe doing even more frequently. And I've recently changed some of the things about my Patreon, like different awards for different tiers, so you can check that out as well. But I don't want to guilt trip you into doing it, so if you don't want to, that's completely fine. But in that case, I would really appreciate it if you at least like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with somebody else, because those things help so much as well. But anyway, let's get into what you're here for, the reaction. In 3, 2, 1. I think it's better to hold my expectations back a little bit, because I don't want to expect too much and end up being disappointed. Okay, it's definitely more heart-hitting than what I would have expected from them, but I'm not sure how I feel about it in terms of the catchiness. It's interesting to see this kind of song from them. Also, are they missing a member? I think I'm not seeing the most recognizable member of this group, who I cannot remember his name. Was it Dehui? I'm not sure how it's even pronounced, so I'm sorry about that. Wait, isn't that him? I honestly can't tell, but it does look like him a little bit. And since when is he a rapper? Also, this is another group in this recording session of like K-pop reactions that I'm doing that feels like their comebacks is inspired by Road to Kingdom or something, because it has a lot of theatrics about it, I feel like. They're definitely missing a member, because I know that at first they were 6, then one of the members was removed for some reason, but they should be 5, and I'm seeing only 4. Also, this ending dance break and the way the song sounds during the dance break, I actually quite liked. But yeah, we definitely have to listen to this one a second time, because at first I kind of like what they're going for with this song, obviously because it's more on the hard-hitting side and it's something that appeals more to me more, but they still have this problem with the catchiness of their song. I just do not find them that catchy. And it is a similar problem that I used to have with the boys with like their first 6 title tracks that they released. You can check out my reactions, but they are at this point pretty old. But with the boys, it was more of the fact that the songs were catchy, but I just personally didn't find them catchy. But I can recognize that they were catchy. Well, with AB6IX, I just don't really find them catchy in general. Like, I don't really think even somebody who is a fan would really find them catchy. I don't know. Just doesn't feel catchy. And the weird thing is that that is not a problem throughout the whole song. There are parts of the song that actually sound kind of catchy, like this dance break part here at the end, or I think it was one of the choruses sound actually pretty catchy, but the verses are kind of weak to me. But again, we're gonna have to listen to it a second time before I decide how I feel about it finally. So let's get into it again in 3, 2, 1. And yeah, good beginning with the getting you hyped up with these drums. Okay, this is a little bit catchier on second listen. Yeah, it's actually better on second listen. Still, I feel like these 3 parts so far, like the 3 verses, sound very different from each other and don't really flow from one to the other that well. So I think like I like the overall idea that they're going for, but I feel like they could have done it a little better. Made it a little bit more cohesive. And yeah, if this is the member that I'm thinking it is, since when is he a rapper? Was he a rapper before and I just didn't notice? Or is he just rapping in this one for the first time or something? Because I don't remember him being a rapper. Maybe it's just his visuals being just kind of making me mistake him for a singer or a dancer mainly. Just because he looks more like your typical cute boy rather than like a badass rapper. Because you can't deny that members in K-pop groups have a certain vibe to them. Like you can tell a rapper is a rapper and a singer is a singer. There are a few outliers, but you can generally tell them apart. And he doesn't come off as a rapper to me. And yeah, I feel like they could have gone a little harder with the heart parts of this song. But yeah, this dance break here actually is pretty dope. Okay, so this song ended up being kind of right exactly how I expected that it was going to end up being. With a name like Salute, I expected it was going to go into a more of a hard-hitting direction, which I like. I appreciate that they're more appealing more to me with this comeback, even though they're not appealing to me personally, like if you know what I mean. But this concept appeals to me a little bit more, and I do commend what they did with it. Like they did pretty well overall. They did it decently well. I just feel like they could have gone a little harder with it, because the hard parts are hard, but are kind of like hard for them. Because so far I don't think they've really done this kind of music. Like I'm pretty sure this is the first time they're doing anything like this, and if that is the case, then yeah, this is very hard sounding for them. But overall, considering the groups that I tend to listen to, this is kind of on the softer side overall. So I definitely think they could have done it better, but as like a first try, you could, in a way to say it, they did it pretty well. So this song ended up being pretty much exactly what I expected it was going to be. Like right off the bat, with a name like Salute, I expected that it was going to go into more of a hard-hitting direction and more appeal more to me. But at the end of the day, because it's coming from a group that I'm not the biggest fan of, and I don't really find their songs the catchiest thing ever, I expected that it was going to end up kind of like middle of the road for me. Not too amazing, but not bad either, you know? And yeah, that is pretty much how I would define this song. There are parts of it that I like quite a lot, like the dance break, which is kind of funny because most of the time I'm not the biggest fan of dance breaks. But when you actually integrate it in the song from the beginning and you come up with the song with the dance break in mind, you can make it work, you know? I just feel like a lot of the times some groups just tack on a dance break to a song and it just doesn't gel with the song. I do think it works for this one because it was conceived with it, maybe. So I do feel like they did pretty well, but they could have gone so much harder with the sound. Like compared to the other K-pop groups that I listen to, like ATEEZ, Stray Kids, this is not really going too hard with the sound. It's going hard for them, but that's not really saying much because so far they've done pretty much more on the softer side, I would say. Like there hasn't been anything too hard, and I was kind of hoping that maybe they were gonna be doing something like that because I really liked the answer, and specifically because it was kind of on the softer side, but it was still pretty catchy, you know? But still, they did it pretty well, but I don't really think I'm gonna listen to this song as much as I did for the answer. Maybe I'll listen to it a couple of times because there are some catchy parts about this song, but I'm not really gonna listen to it like constantly and replay it all the time as I did for The Answer. It just doesn't have the catchiness to it. But it was still a pretty good song, and I feel like it's gonna satisfy most people. Although some people might be annoyed by the fact that they're doing this kind of concept because maybe they've liked them for the more softer stuff that they did so far, and maybe this would be like pandering to a different type of fan, because I personally hate when groups that I like do that. Like if I like a K-pop group for doing a certain kind of song, like let's say in my case hard-hitting sound, I would hate it if they go into the ballad territory and move on to doing ballad songs or just softer songs in general. So as a one-off thing, it is pretty good, but I'm curious where they're gonna go from here. And if this is coming with an extended play, which I assume it is, I am kind of curious to see whether they're gonna have some good songs in the B-sides, because from what I remember, I'm not really sure whether I reacted to the album, although probably I did. There might have been some good songs in the B-sides of that one, but I just don't really remember. I just remember that there was at least maybe one or something. I don't know, it's been a while. So in terms of ratings for this song, at the very least, I'm gonna give it a 7.8 out of 10. And at most, I'm gonna give it an 8.3 out of 10. Because I still appreciate the hard-hitting parts of it and what they were going for. But they just didn't quite really manage to land it. And even let alone kind of like blow me away with this. But I wasn't even expecting that they were gonna do it, but still. And it's not like this is a bad score, it's just not as good as maybe the other comebacks that I've reacted to before this video. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe. Also check out the link in the description to my Twitter if you want to follow me there, and to my Wattpad where I post my stories, because in addition to doing all these videos on my channel, I'm also a writer. And if you end up enjoying my stories or you simply enjoy my videos, you can head over to Patreon where you can pledge your support and help get the channel going and help support me so I can keep writing the stories you enjoy. But if you don't want to do it, that's completely fine. You can still help me out in other ways, like liking this video, subscribing, and especially sharing this video with someone who you think might enjoy it. And I think that's pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!